Alright, it's your boy Cage Gamer coming to y'all with yet another YouTube video. This is my second time filming the intro because I did not know how much time it was before the game started, and no one wants to see people wait for the game to start, but whatever. Don't judge my squad. These my boys. This is the second family right here. D.U.S. Potentials. So I decided to change it up and not hit y'all with a commentary, but I'm gonna hit y'all with a story time. Because what really got me into Pretty Boy Fredo and all them other YouTubers is the story times. Like, I don't know what it was. I just loved hearing stories and like it's just fun. So no commentary, story time. And this story time is about the first time I smoked weed or got high, whatever y'all want to say it is. But so this took place my freshman year in high school. I had just graduated last year, but this happened my freshman year. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of like a background before all this. So before, I had been living in a different county, in a different part of Georgia and everything. So I had to change high school, or I had to change schools. So I ended up going to a different high school than where all my friends were. I only knew a handful of people from the new school I went to. So when I first moved in, I didn't know anybody or whatever in my neighborhood. So what I did was, so I'm a quiet person. If you know me in person, or like, if you really know me, I'm quiet. Like, I don't know why, I just don't like to be super social. That's just not me. So people end up talking to me on the bus. I end up meeting the new kids in the neighborhood and everything, blah, blah, blah. So there was one dude, he was known for smoking. And I was that freshman. Like, I was that guy. Growing up through 5th grade, from like elementary school and everything, I know y'all heard them. They had those like drug-free things, like, like they come to your school, have like a little prep rally and give out little stickers saying say no to drugs and all that stuff, blah blah blah. But then I had realized and everything, and I know like a lot of people in my family that smoked, so I was always interested in trying. And I'm like, my uncles are like the coolest people on the planet to me, so let me go ahead and try it. So I'm a freshman, and this is when I had a curfew. Like, this is when I could leave the house whenever I wanted to, come home. I didn't even have like a curfew besides like the legal curfew, which I didn't really care for. I could be out as long as I want to. Like, I was at that point where my mom wanted me to be responsible for what I did and everything. So I ended up hanging out with one dude who was already a smoker, but then I ended up meeting the new dude in my neighborhood. We're gonna call him Trayvon. Trayvon's a dude that's in the neighborhood. The other dude that I usually hang around with, that I've been hanging out with for a long time, we're gonna call him Marcus. So Marcus was always smoking a joint. Like, I almost ended up smoking with him my first time, but he didn't let me do it because I had to go back and see my mom anyway. So fast forward a couple of days in school, I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I was still eating lunch in the counselor's office because I didn't have any friends. Like, I did not go to the middle school that everybody else went to. So it was like kind of weird to me, but whatever. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm asking Trayvon, I'm like, bro, how does it feel to smoke? Like, how does it feel to get high and everything and all that? And he was like, I don't know, you gotta try it and everything. So I'm sitting there like, I don't know, man. Is it bad? Like, how is it? I kid you not. So, alright, my mom ended up having to go out. Her and her friends were all going out and everything, and I had the house to myself for a day. But I didn't want to stay home. So I somehow, if I can go to his house, to go to Trayvon's house. Was it Trayvon? Yeah, Trayvon's house, and hang out with him and spend the night over there. So or my mom was like, alright, cool, whatever, and I guess she forgot that she said it was cool, but she said it was cool and everything. So I'm at Trayvon's house. Like, I start walking as soon as my mom leaves. I go straight to, like, the moment they pulled out the driveway and they left the name, I got out and I asked Marcus, because Marcus was at my house. I was like, hey, do you want to go smoke? I was like, it's gonna be my first time, blah blah, this and that. And he was like, sure, why not? So we all walked down, or me and Marcus walked down to Trayvon's house. We live in the same neighborhood. It was just like up the street. So I walked up the street, knock on his door. His parents weren't home either. So he was like, alright, bro. So we smoked in the house, right? But the way how I was smoking, I wasn't smoking the right way. It's like if you don't know, when you smoke, you're supposed to, like, after you take a hit, you're supposed to like inhale so it actually hits your lungs. I didn't know. I was out here just I was just taking hits and just blowing it out, and then I said they never noticed and all that stuff. We was doing some cool stuff. Like I asked for the lighter because we smoked out of a bowl at one point, and like I caught the lighter one hand. They're like, "Oh, your skills didn't drop and all that." I was like, "Yeah, you already know how that go and all that." I was out here just flexing. So I don't know what a high feeling was supposed to be, so I didn't know. I kind of got like a little buzz, but like from actually smoking everything later on and everything, I knew I wasn't high. So I was over there like, oh, we need more weed and this and that because we were running out. And hold on, excuse me. All right, so like we were running out and everything. So in that time, we were like, I had a few plugs because I started talking to more people. So I had one plug. We're gonna call him Kevin, and then we're gonna call the other plug. Dang, what's a good name? Stefan. We're gonna call him Stefan. So Stefan was a senior and he was friends with Marcus, so it was like a mutual friend thing. So we hit him up. We like, hey bro, you delivering? And yada yada yada. And he was all like, yeah, I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah. And I was like, oh. And he made his own string called Space Ghost and all that. I was like, oh, you got that Space Ghost that you were telling me about in class? He was like, yeah, I got you, bro. I got y'all with that loud. And back in my freshman year, I don't know if I was just getting finessed or if I was dumb or something, but back then, all my Georgia people hit me up and let me know back in 2014. Like, was gas $20 a G for y'all? Because I mean, I get it for 10 now, 10 or cheaper, and I flip it for 15. Well, no, I used to flip it for 15. I don't do that no more. But so we ended up paying 20 a G, 10 for a point 0.5, and it couldn't have just been me getting finesse because Marcus was in the game and so was Trayvon. Like they seemed like it was okay price for them. So we ended up hitting him up. He was like, he said he was in the area and this and that. To make a long story short, he didn't show up. He stopped responding. He stopped answering our phone calls and everything. So I ended up remembering that I have another plug, or like, I guess a plug. And he was all like, we're going to call him. I'm sick of tired of all these names I got to come up with. God dang. I ain't think this one through. We're going to call him Trevor. Let's call him Trevor. So Trevor, he is the plug at my school. I ended up hanging out with him and like a whole bunch of other potheads and drug addicts and everything. I ended up hanging out with the wrong group my freshman year, but like I didn't care. They were all like upperclassmen, but one. Trevor was like a sophomore and a few other ones. Man, shout out to the squad if y'all remember me, man. Shout out to y'all. So Trevor ended up, he used to sell me Reggie shit, that weed shit. So he was saying that we can get 2 Gs for 20. And then, first of all, I don't even know why he was selling mid. Like, who does that? Like, that's so cringe. Like, where do you even get mid from? Like, I still haven't came across mid in my whole career of smoking. I've never seen mid. Like, that serious. So, actually, I think I did smoke mid one time. I don't know. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point. So, Trevor was like, I got y'all with 2 Gs of that mid, blah, 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 this and that. And Marcus and Trayvon did not have licenses or a car. So we ended up walking, and he lived like a whole exit away from where we were. But then Marcus. Marcus, the one I used to hang out with all the time. He hit up his plug that he knew, and it was in a neighborhood that was kind of far away, but we took that walk for a point 0.5. Like, I had $10 on me. We took that walk for a point 0.5. We did. We really did. I mean, when I say I've been saving that $10 that whole day just for that, just for us to smoke. Like, I was like, man, I really want to do it. I want to try it. I can't wait. I'm excited and everything. So we started taking the walk. It's like 11 o'clock at night. It's late. And we walking to go get that product. So we get the walk, and it's a long walk. and I was dehydrated. I remember that, like, I was dehydrated as fuck. Like, I was just, I just needed some water. And I was like, man, blah, blah, blah. Why am I so thirsty? This and that. And then they were all like, oh, you're probably just a little high. You're probably like, that's what happens. I got that cotton mouth pretty much. But I was like, I wasn't like super high though. So it is what it is. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to walk in. We walked over, I think, like a couple of miles. Like that thing was a walk, but we did not care, or I didn't care anyways. We started cutting through neighbor, and like a little bit of anxiety hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, we're cutting through people's neighborhood. What they call the cops and all that. So we go and get the product. We got it. Simple. We got that. We met up with the dude. We still on the other side of the street while Marcus went and got it because we didn't want to sketch him out. Like sketchy, and sketch was like the most amazing words to use back then. I don't know why. So, you know what I'm saying? We start walking back and everything. And I don't, oh no, first we went to McDonald's because we were hungry. They were hungry because, I mean, I guess they were high because they knew how to do it. But I didn't. So, we walked to McDonald's, and mind you, it was like 12 at this point, 12 or 1, whatever time McDonald's closes up there. McDonald's was closed. We even knocked on the drive-thru, like seeing if somebody was in there trying to serve us right quick. No answers. So we started walking back, but then Trayvon was like, oh, his mom said he can order pizza off a card or whatever. So that's what we doing. We walked back. He started ordering a pizza. I think when we got really close, and I thought we were gonna get jumped. I no cap. Like there was like a dude on a scooter bike, whatever, moped, whatever the things are called, bro. He pulled up like clean behind. Like we're walking on the street because there's not a lot of sidewalks out here in Georgia. Dude pulls up clean behind us, like he was about to like he wanted some action. And there was 3 of us, one of him, bro. We was ready to scrap at that point. Like I was ready to pop off. Like I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going. So we finally get back. We're back to the crib, or we're back to his crib. We chilling. They start rolling up a blunt. They start rolling it up and everything. I'm just sitting there like, oh man, it's about to be lit. I can't wait. I can't wait. So they start rolling it up and everything, and I'm just sitting there like, whew. I'm about to get high. I'm about to get even higher than what I was. I was like, man, being high isn't a big deal. And like after I fake smoke, I'm gonna call it fake smoke because like I wasn't stupid high. After that little buzz, I walked into the bathroom. I looked at my eyes. I was like, oh, my eyes aren't even that red. I'm like, I feel normal. I feel good. I'm chilling. So after that, you know what I'm saying, they finished on the blunt, and we just had the blunt waiting. We were waiting for the pizza at this point, but my little mind, I forgot completely that we even ordered a pizza. Like, I was tripping. I was like, oh, like, who's knocking at the door? I was like, it's the police. I was like, I'm going to jail and everything. But it was just a pizza, man. He bought our pizza and everything. We chilling. So so after Pizza Man leaves, they spark up the blunt. They spark it, or we spark it up, and I'm still hitting it like the way I was. And then Trayvon looked at me. He was like, bro, you wasting it. I was like, what do you mean I'm wasting it? I'm doing it like how y'all showed me to. He's like, dog, you're wasting it. They're like, take a hit, and then hell. So I took a hit, and I was like, take another hit. They're like, no, take a hit, and then breathe through your mouth. And I did that, and when I tell you, I started coughing up a storm. All right, I'm gonna hit y'all with that part too. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Like, comment, support. I love each and every y'all. Have a good one. Just as a disclaimer, this was my personal experience. I did not support the use of drugs.